Football Hooligan world, Football Casuals world, Ultras world, Barra Brava world, Torcida world, Hinchada world. Football violence scene, casuals, hooligans, whatever you may be. Once again, your humble narrator, Derek Diablo, Del Boy D, Miami Casuals, Inter Miami firm, Diablo TV. Like and subscribe, do the things you're supposed to do. Now then, for those that follow, you already know where I'm going with this. But for those that don't know, I've been chronicling the hooligan scene from the inside, so to speak, around the world, beginning with England and the United States, North America, then moving on to Europe. Now I'm going through a series talking about the scenes in European nations. So I discussed Germany already, I discussed Italy already, and it comes to that bear, that mighty bear. I'm talking about Russia, Mother Russia as it were. Russian hooligans, Russian ultras. Now then, first and foremost, if I make a video talking about a firm or talking about people, it's because they deserve to be talked about. If there was nobody, I wouldn't talk about them. So as I've said elsewhere in the roughly Russia Today piece, to me the Russians is the top. And what do I mean by that? Top in fighting, right? Now, in force fights, in different situations, away matches, it doesn't mean they're undefeated and they're invincible. Nothing like that, you know. But what I admire in this situation, I admire a lot about Russian culture. And then by me being anti-fascist, that means, at least to me, that's against Nazism. Communism and Nazism are the two political, the antithesis of one another. Extreme far right and far left. So with that being said, the Russians with the anti-fascist side, Joseph Stalin coined the term anti-fascism. So to begin with, I'm against Nazis. So automatically, I like Russia. And we was allies in World War II, America, Russia, and England, that's true. Now then, so I admire a lot about Russian culture. I'm Cuban also. There's a lot of connection with Russians and Cubans. And what I think makes the Russians special, and when I say they're the top, yeah, in fighting, but besides that, to me, they created the whole forest fighting. Am I wrong? I believe that the Russians created forest fighting. And that's a whole different level. I've seen them talking about it. I studied this since it's been going on, and I saw them outside and everything. I've been looking into it. So it's the Okolofutbola culture. Okolofutbola. And I think that's how you say it. I don't speak Russian. You know, my Russian ain't so good. But Okolofutbola, that term there, what that means is around football. Okolofutbola. So they got that Okolofutbola TV that I became aware of. I think that's one of their top websites, right? So Okolofutbola means around football. So when I was first getting into all this online, I started seeing that some people don't really even go to football. They just fight in the name of the football club or in the name of your city, right? Like with the forest fighting and so forth. But the English constantly were like, nah, man, that ain't fucking hooliganism. You know what I mean? So it wasn't until I moved to England and I understood that, no, the football is the main thing. And the terrorist culture and the fighting is part of that might happen or might not happen. You know, that's the whole game about it. That's the whole thing that makes it exciting. But it is really based upon passion for football, primarily, not just like a gang that goes and fights in the name of your city. So the clothes, the authenticity of being an English hooligan and casual, let me put that in one category, because I've already said before, it's like apples and oranges comparing ultras and hooligans. It's not the same thing. It's related. So now, the Okolofutbola around football. So it has something to do with football and football clubs, the name of football clubs. As you see in Team Fighting Championship, which the last one American team won, because America's the best in fighting. America, Russia, Brazil. Right now, that's where it's at. It used to be Japan in there, but Japan ain't really on the same level right now. I'll say it right now. I'll fight any of them Japanese fighters anytime, any way you want. One fighting championship, what's up? Now then! Russia, America, Brazil, that's the top fighters in the world. MMA, it's combat sport, that's what I'm talking about. Now then, to take the hooligan mentality and general concept away from football, and then say, no, we're not gonna go beat up idiots in the bar, untrained fighters, drunks and stuff. No, let's go fight other fighters that know how to fight, that are trained, and let's go what they've created with the forest fighting. So you got Russia, Sweden, Serbia, you got loads of good firms out there that participate with the Russians. Russians even got a girl firm. So I could go a lot further. In my general opinion about the Russian, you got the Igor Lebedev, the great politician, the great statesman from Russia. He's proposing to turn the hooliganism into a professional combat sport. I like that guy. Of course, I like Mr. Putin. He's fellow martial arts man. So there's a lot of things I could say. Ivan Sidorenko, the great sniper, Soviet sniper that killed so many Nazis. Also, the martial arts sambo of the Red Army. People don't want to say that was the Red Army martial art, which is really the first fully detailed MMA, form of MMA, if you think of it like that, it's combat sambo. So I could go on and on and on. I want to go to Russia. I want to talk to those brothers, put our heads together, see what we can do. But there's no mistake that for what you done in Marseille, Oral Butchers, we gonna rain down on you, babies. So I'm looking to put together that group. 10 are from Miami, 10 from Plymouth in England. Could be a national firm, 10 of them and 10 from Miami versus the Oral Butchers, 20 on 20 here in Florida. I'm calling you out, babies, and you gonna make a lot of money, we gonna make a lot of money, and we'll drink with honor afterwards, but first, you gonna have to pay the price for what you done in Marseille, and the price ain't gonna be pretty. Furthermore, Spartak Moscow, that's the top. That's number one. Oral Butchers, I think it's like lower leagues, right? That's like Plymouth TCE. And then Manchester United, Red Army, the biggest and the baddest of all time of England. That is like your Spartak Moscow, Gladiators firm. That's the top. So I'd like to propose that if I could coach a team of England and United States, Miami, baby, and we could defeat the Oral Butchers here in Florida, then we'll go to Russia to take on none other than Spartak Moscow Gladiators. So in closing, much respect to the Russians for what you've done, in my view, by adding a new element to the football hooliganism culture. There's a language barrier, and I know people in your country don't clown around and make these kind of videos, but with that being said, the gauntlet's been laid down. Oral Butchers for money, 20 on 20 here in Florida. Let's make it happen. If we can defeat you, then we want the Spartak Moscow Gladiators. And if we can defeat them, then I want a Russian national firm in Moscow. Talk to you later, babies.